I haven't done a Kristi Noem story in a good bit, so let's circle back to her. See what the leader of the Department of Homeland Security is doing, the former governor of South Dakota, the one who shot her dog and her goat. Let's see what she's up to. She's fumbling definitions of American constitutional law. So you know what? I graciously invite every constitutional conservative to join me in calling this out, genuinely. So Secretary Kristi Noem mangled a response to a question about habeas corpus at a Senate hearing on Tuesday, referring to the right of due process as a, quote, right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country. What a definition. You know, I can think of so many different definitions of habeas corpus that are incorrect, and yet they're more correct than this one. She is so far from the bullseye. She is in the gutter, not even hitting a single bowling pin with this one. What a ridiculous answer. Senator Maggie Hassan, the Democrat of New Hampshire, had asked Noem about the constitutional protection after noting that Stephen Miller told reporters earlier this month that the administration was actively looking at suspending habeas corpus, the right to challenge an arrest or imprisonment. Quote, I want to clarify your position, Hassan asked. So she asked Noem, what is habeas corpus? And then strike out. Noem says, well, habeas corpus is a constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country and suspend their right to. She was cut off. Maggie Hassan said, that's incorrect. Incorrect is possibly an overgenerous understatement. What she should have said is that is flat out BS nonsense, you fascist thug. But, civility and all that. So Hassan said, habeas corpus is the legal principle that requires that the government provide a public reason for detaining and imprisoning people. If not for that protection, the government could simply arrest people, including American citizens, and hold them indefinitely for no reason, Hassan said, calling it a foundational right. Man, the times have changed so much, really. 2025 is a hell of a lot different from 2005, which is a hell of a lot different from 1985. Remember when big government was the ultimate boogeyman of right-wingers? Now it's like, oh yeah, no, constitutional rights don't protect you from big government. Government can, arrest you if they want. That's not what habeas corpus protects you from. Habeas corpus just gives the president of the United States the power to remove you from the country. Nowhere in the Constitution is there anything that gives the president the right to do that. What on earth? What on earth? Constitutional conservatives, you have some work to do on your own side. No party is perfectly faithful to the US Constitution. But your party, the Republican Party, is the least faithful and the most hateful against the Constitution and the most hateful against basic principles, basic rights that regular people have against their government. What on earth? A right that the president has? A right? Like, as in, it's totally unqualified? I'm the president and I would like to exercise my right to remove you from this country because you are bad. You have blue hair and you are a libtard and you are a cuck. Really? Can they just do that? What on earth? What kind of school did you go to? She didn't go to law school, by the way, which makes me 0.0001% more forgiving of this absurd misspeak. But really, we have her in our government. We have this clownery going on in our government. And maybe calling it clownery is the generous way of going about it. Maybe she's trying to sleazily lay the groundwork for President Trump to just deport anyone he doesn't like. We know that he wants to do that. We know he wants to arrest anyone who criticizes him. He has made that clear. So yeah, why stop at arresting? Why not just deport? So she probably was banking on the senator not having the definition of habeas corpus with her and just being like, oh, okay, well, yeah. But fortunately, she was fact-checked. It's crazy how we have to constantly fact-check people in the administration. I fact-check J.D. Vance all the time. He went to law school, and I expect better from him. Kristi Noem didn't go to law school. She became governor, so she's got to know something about how rights work and how principles work. You would think only the best and brightest would get elected to public office, but no. Those days don't exist right now, and to be honest, they never really have existed. They never have existed. Just because you get elected to office doesn't mean you understand things the best. This is another great example of that. Also, don't hold your breath for people, like Ben Shapiro, Michael Knowles, Matt Walsh, different various right-wing commentators online, Fox News hosts, to call this out. They are not going to do it. They are simply going to stick to the alleged constitutional violations of the Democrats and the left And they're going to say, oh, Trump good. Oh, yeah, no, he's standing up against illegal aliens. Blah. All that nonsense, all that noise to distract us from the authoritarian regime that is currently cracking down on regular American citizens and hand waving their constitutional rights. Do not fall for their distractions. Do not fall for Kristi Noem. I know some guys out there say she's really hot, but being hot does not make up for you not understanding the US Constitution. Please like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Morris the Merrier, and I look forward to speaking to you in my next video.